Hello everyone, let me tell you a story from the real life, but at the same time, a true fairy tale. Once upon a time, in Orgrimmar, a fearsome ogre slayer orc named Torben met a shaman troll tribe leader named Han. They fell in love, and together they had a green orc baby boy named Mads. Just about 2 years later, in another kingdom of Silvermoon, a blood elven king named Leonard and a blood elven queen named Birgit was blessed with a beautiful elven girl named Stella. Mads grew up to be a troublesome young orc, and as he became a fearsome young fury warrior orc, he was sent off to the Horde boarding school for new adventures. In the Horde boarding school, he made a lot of new friends, but after 2 years with new awesome adventures, it was time for Mads to move on with his life. He joined the Horde's army, but did have the opportunity to come home for the weekends to visit family and friends. One Saturday, he got on his black wolf and traveled to the Horde boarding school to meet up with some of his old friends. That weekend was where he met the beautiful blood elven princess named Stella for the very first time. Just about 1 year later, they had both forgotten all about each other, as they were living their own lives with full speed ahead. But one day, Stella wrote a message to Mads, asking him about how his alliance slaying was going. The conversation quickly took speed, and before either of them had realized it, they had made a date to meet each other again. Mads traveled through Azeroth to meet Stella at her small single-room castle in Silvermoon. Surely, they came to meet each other, but it was not love at first sight. They did after all talked, laughed and had a great time together, but Mads was forced to leave again after a short while to return to the Horde's army. Over the next few years, they began to talk more and more with each other, and they fell in love. As it turned out, fate had great things in mind for the young couple. They moved in together in Mads' hut, and a few years later, they traveled together across Azeroth to visit a leveling zone called Tanaris. But that was just the first of many adventures to come. As though many people may not consider this to be an adventure, Mads and Stella were, and still are, very fond of the wild nature and all of its beauty. One night, Mads took Stella to the Jade Forest in Pandaria. When they reached the shelters, they made a fire and they packed out all of their things. They talked, they laughed, they killed some of the Alliance, they had a great night. And as the sky was turning dark and the sun settled in the horizon, they went to bed in their sleeping bags and their incredibly bad sleeping pads. The next morning, a sunbeam was shining into their shelter, and as they slowly were waking up, a beautiful golden cloud serpent gracefully landed on the lake right in front of them. It was a stunning moment. They turned towards each other and they kissed before they started packing up the things again to head back home to the hut. The following time was simply magical. Their love for each other was blossoming, and even though their love for each other was very strong, a relationship has not always been without difficulties. Stella had to kiss some terrible gulp frogs before meeting Mads, and Mads had to kiss a few face manipulators before meeting Stella. But as in all other true fairy tales, the third time is the charm. And even though it took some time for both of them to figure out what they wanted, the love that they had for each other, and slaying the Alliance, it always brought them back together. And so, here we stand today. The fearsome fury warrior Mads is marrying the beautiful blood elven princess Stella, and all I have left to say is they lived happily ever after.